The Sunday school lesson for March 17th, 2024 is Defending Our Faith. 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 through 17. To the viewers and subscribers, welcome and welcome back to my channel, The Backstory and More. I am Audrey. If you are interested in knowing what comes before each Sunday school lesson, you are at the right place. Also notice that I will share the backstory, read the lesson text, and offer a brief lesson summary. Please give me a thumbs up if this video is of any benefit to you. Thank you so much for all that you do to help me to walk in my purpose. The backstory. Let's begin. The churches of Peter's letter. Peter addressed his letter to the churches located through Bithynia, Pontus, Asia, Galatia, and Cappadocia. See the map above. Paul had evangelized many of the areas. Other areas had churches that were begun by the Jews who were in Jerusalem on the day of Pentecost and heard Peter's powerful sermon. Acts chapter 2, verses 9 through 11. The backstory takes us to 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 1 through 7. Living godly lives in a pagan society. Peter speaks to the wives. You should each respect the authority of your own husband. Even if your husband does not believe God's message about Jesus Christ, you should still respect him. If you do that, he may then turn to God and believe his message. You will not need to tell him what is true. He will see the good way that you live. He will see that you obey God and that you do things that are completely good. Peter went on to indicate what does not make you beautiful. Think about what makes you beautiful. The way that you prepare your hair does not really make you beautiful. Gold things or beautiful clothes do not make you beautiful. It is what's inside that counts. Peter continued to talk to the wives. Do not just think about your body, but think about what you are really like inside yourself. Be patient and do not become angry easily. Then you will always continue to be beautiful. If you are beautiful in your spirit, God likes that very much. For this is the way the holy women of the past who put their hope in God used to adorn themselves. They submitted themselves to their own husbands, like Sarah, who obeyed Abraham and called him her Lord. You are her daughters if you do what is right and do not give way to fear. Husbands, in the same way, be considerate as you live with your wives and treat them with respect as the weaker partner and as heirs with you of the gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers. The backstory ends. Today's lesson begins. Verses 8 through 9. Finally, all of you, be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble. Do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult. On the contrary, repay evil with blessing, because to this you were called, so that you may inherit a blessing. Verses 10 through 11. For whoever would love life and see good days must keep their tongue from evil and their lips from deceitful speech. They must turn from evil and do good. They must seek peace and pursue it. Verses 12 through 13. For the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their prayer. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil. Who is going to harm you if you are eager to do good? Verse 14. But even if you should suffer for what is right, you are blessed. Do not fear their threats. Do not be frightened. Verses 15 through 17. But in your hearts revere Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have. But do this with gentleness and respect, keeping a clear conscience, so that those who speak maliciously against your good behavior in Christ may be ashamed of their slander. For it is better, if it is God's will, to suffer for doing good than for doing evil. A brief summary. Peter's purpose for writing this letter was to encourage Christians who feared an impending persecution from Rome. It is no wonder that he turned to Psalm 34 to underscore that message. This Psalm of David, to which Peter referred to in verses 10 through 12, had a particular historic context. David, in fleeing from King Saul, found himself before a hospitable pagan king, 1 Samuel chapter 21. David and the Christians to whom Peter wrote were all citizens of heaven, facing the possible wrath of kings on earth. The course of action David spoke of was the same course advocated by Peter. We are called to turn from evil and do good. Even in the face of hostility, we are called to seek and model peace in our relationships. Peter went on to clarify what it meant to seek peace in verse 11. First of all, we must be eager to do good. If we are zealous to live morally upright lives, people, especially the authorities, are not likely to harm us. Next, we need to be ready to explain ourselves. The hope that you have refers not only to Christians' convictions about the future, but also to the attitude of peace even when threatened by our foes. Such a spirit invites questions from others. Thank you so much for listening. Join me soon for the next backstory and more. Remember to share this video with others, your Sunday school class, your Bible study class, your Facebook friends, and others. Thank you so much for all you do to grow my channel one viewer and one subscriber at a time. Thank you so much again for helping me to walk in my purpose. Stay safe and may God bless.